Well, can you tell us what's behind this? First, the breakup between SUVs and non-SUVs, and is this very clearly grabbing of market share?
Thank you. Actually, there are three reasons why probably the growth has been so good for Hyundai. First, as you mentioned, the industry is clearly shifting towards SUVs. And, over the last 5 years, we have seen that. Last year, SUVs contribution to the industry was about 29%. This year, it has further increased to 33%. And as far as Hyundai is concerned, of course, now SUVs are contributing almost 46% to our total sales. So Creta, Venue, Kona, Tucson, all put together. So that definitely is giving a big traction to us because customer preference is moving towards SUV. The second reason very clearly is also, the new model portfolio we have. So even if you see besides SUVs, whether it's the all-new i20, which won the iQuity recently, or even the Verna, because everybody says the sedan segment is probably, going down, but Verna, after its facelift, is again showing some very strong numbers, consistently more than 2,000. So I think Indian customers have always reacted very positively to the new models. So that is, I think, the second reason. And third reason, in our view, is, of course, the kind of, powertrain and transmission options that we have been able to offer to the customers, whether it is petrol, diesel, turbo, CNG. So I think all in all these things are really helping us. And it's not only about the 29% growth, but also because, the consistently the 50,000 plus number, happening, I think is very, very encouraging. And very clearly, this shift towards personal mobility is helping the overall industry to grow.
Okay. Well, what about the problem of higher metal prices? Is that going to impede demand in any way? Are you pushing up prices? Are you taking it in the margins? And if you push up prices, do you worry about demand?
So, this is an issue which all of us are grappling with. But frankly, while steel and so many other metal prices are going up, the fuel prices are going up, which means the logistic costs go up. At the same time, at Hyundai, we are always trying to really see if we can do a cost reduction where we can optimize our supply chain operations. And so far, so we are trying our best. At the same time, we are watching very closely, and we have to see, what happens in the future. But as of now, we'll maintain the prices and try to keep the cost as low as possible by doing all kinds of innovations and really working very, very closely with our suppliers.
Okay, all right. Tarun, good morning. Hi, Surabhi here. I just want to now get to the aspect of market share gains, because surely your gain would have come at some cost to others. So let's break it down. When it comes to the compact segment, you mentioned the i20, which has got a facelift as well, and of course the i10, etc. Have you gained market share, say, from a large player like Maruti? And then tell us about the SUV segment as well, because there you have the onslaught of the Kias and the MG Hectors. So there, what's happened to the market share?
So, Sulbi, this is very interesting. Actually, when you see even a calendar year 20, there are only two segments which are really driving the growth, or you can say the contribution is increasing. One, as we discussed, is the SUV, and second, as we discussed, is the compact premium. So as far as Hyundai is concerned, I think both, in the SUV segment and the i20 segment, this shift of the customer towards these segments has really helped us, because we can clearly see, in fact, if you see the February numbers, SUV numbers have almost doubled over last February. Of course, the base was low because last year the BS4 to BS6 transition was happening. But notwithstanding that, consistently, Creta doing more than 12,000, or Venue doing close to 12,000, and now Tucson, Kona. So everybody is adding, and clearly the market share in the SUV segment, post our leadership in calendar year 20 seems to be increasing every time. So we are now holding a 26% market share in the SUV segment. Regarding the compact premium, this is very surprising actually, because most of the industry experts were talking that, post-COVID, customers will be really buying more of entry-level cars, rather than go for some feature-rich, premium cars. But what we have seen is that the customer is really looking for more connectivity, more features like air purifier. He wants the sunroof because he wants the natural light coming in. He wants to be connected all the time. So what is happening is customers don't mind really upgrading to a higher segment as long as they're getting those latest technologies and features which will make it convenient for them. And I think this is what is really helping Hyundai. And we see this traction not only in the compact premium, but also in the sedan segment where I mentioned that, even the Verna consistently more than 2,000. And now even Tucson, although it's a niche segment, but, talking around 150 units. So all in all, it's all about, your ability of an OEM to really provide customers, these global technologies and automatics. I think another very important factor where Indian market is clearly showing an evolution is that people are really opting for automatics, whether it is DCT, whether it is IVT, whether it is IMT, whether it is, AMT. So I think Indian customer is really evolving and wanting to really try out these new technologies. And across segments, we are seeing this kind of attraction.
Okay. Well, quickly, Tarun, can you give us some geographical and, level-wise color? I'll tell you, okay, the reason for the bias towards the entry level is a hope that the mass segment has grown, that the bottom of the pyramid is growing. So I want two kinds of things. What is the geographical color? Is it metro cities, Chennai, Mumbai, Bangalore kind of demand? Is it rural? Is it south? Is it north? As well, is it, the very, very premiumized or the mass segment?
So, when we started post-COVID, frankly, say July to September, it was primarily the rural markets or states which were dependent on agriculture, which were showing a growth. But what is post-October, the traction is coming from all markets very clearly. And what we have also seen is the moment the customer confidence in the economy starts going up, when we see the broader indices and Sensex and all doing well, the cities start showing a positive growth. So I think very clearly, if I talk sitting here now, the traction is coming from all across the country. Yes, eastern markets probably are showing a little bit of higher growth than the others. But like I said, now even the Bangalore's or Delhi's or Mumbai's, which were earlier slow to start with, are catching up. Of course, when we see, still on the overall level, it is whether it is the North India or the UPs and Rajasthans, if I see over the past 6 months, they have obviously shown a much higher growth, over the others. But please understand that industry, if you see, industry in the first 2 months of 21 has already clocked, about 20% growth over last year. Now, that kind of a growth cannot come by only growth in some pockets. It has to be really backed by a much more inclusive overall growth. And that is what is coming. The second aspect you mentioned about the entry level, one very interesting, facet of the whole thing is, please understand today, customers are really wanting to, have a car for safe mobility. And also one very interesting fact which has come is that customers really do not have so many options to spend money, because a normal Indian customer would really go to, travel, or he would have, he will be eating out, he will be watching movies. And so much of that money, we believe, probably today is coming into really buying a good quality car, because that is giving him a much safer mobility. So one is his home, that is his first space. The second is his office. And third is probably his car, which he wants. And also for vacations, one very interesting aspect which is coming is the customers are really taking their cars to even go for vacations, for 300, 400, even 500 kilometers away from their home. And there also they would want a personal mobility. So all this aspect of, yes, while I fully understand that the personal, at the bottom of the pyramid, things will go up, but we are seeing more and more first-time buyers really upgrading and directly coming to segments like I-20, where, more than 45% of our sales are from first-time buyers. So this is a very interesting, trend which is emerging, that customers are wanting convenience, technology, safety, and features.
Okay, yeah, a lot of that really resonates, and we see a lot of those trends right around us here in Mumbai as we see more and more Indians take to the roads on their vacations in their cars. All right, Tarun, thanks very much for joining in. Good having this chat with you, and we look forward to more interactions in the future.